Yo, brother Aaron, it is really good to be on a call with you today. Thank you for your time. We're going to talk a little bit about the Practitioner Empowerment course. So yeah, thank you, brother. We just finished this course, and yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. But first, like if you could just share like a little bit about yourself, maybe about the work you do with clients, and yeah, we'll rock and roll from there.
Yeah, so yeah, my name's Aaron. That's the name that's been given to me, and that's the name that I use. Um, I'm I'm 43, and this work was the time I came into my mid 30s to want to work with people and to become I guess a Czech practitioner or a coach. Um, it took me from going through the initial type of check stuff to actually working quite a while. There was a lot of resistance there. I took the plunge about a year ago, and then realised that I still had a load of work still to do, and it wasn't just in the learning courses and learning things about what I could do for people. It was really that self-reflective work on myself, that empowerment of myself to view the experiences that I'm having as tools for growth and transformation. And that was why I was really welcome to hear you put on this practitioner empowerment course, because it came about at the right time for me. So that's me. I guess long term employed. So I went from being employed to self-employed, and again that was a huge lesson for me with personal growth. A journey that I'm still very much within that forge, and learning lessons every day and continuing to grow, and with the support of, I guess, the empowerment course that you put on, and talking with the other participants in the group. It's really helped bring a good sense of community and growth for all of us. So that's where I'm at. That's me.
Oh, happy to hear it. Thank you, brother. It's funny. It's funny. A couple of the others said like it was at the right time. like literally, I was chatting to Angela earlier, and yeah, it's the right time for her as well. So that's good to hear. And yeah, man, there's nothing like our development than running a business. There's so much tied into it. There's so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, how was your experience on the practitioner empowerment course?
Yeah, it was really good. It was great to meet up with everyone, either weekly or bi-weekly, to use the type of WhatsApp group as support, to follow the material and learn new things. And I think some of the biggest takeaways was the real deep self-reflective work that it brought about, and a bit more understanding about myself, through the use of type of archetypes and the astrology. Um, and I'll say with the astrology, that's such a vast subject, that's a long-term type of study point, but it really helps build those lenses. I view it as archetypes. You see them as individual archetypes, but it's like when you go to the opticians and they can you see this board with clarity? And you're like, no, it's a little bit fuzzy. So they drop one lens in, and then you're like, it's still not quite right. And then you drop another lens in over, and then you start to build these different layers, and you combine archetypes, so your layers of archetypes that enact within the creation of yourself, along with the layers of the astrology and how the planets and your birth time and the moon and the sun and your nodes and all of these things interact with you, um, to really shine some light on such a complex thing as the human psyche. And it really does help to see, I guess, behavioral patterns, whether they're viewed as light or dark, things that maybe you want to have a look at, check out, see where they come from, bring a bit more awareness to you so that you can really work through them. And I guess that's a real key for me, is having that awareness to look at those shadow aspects, embrace them, and start to work through them with some kindness and some empathy towards myself, instead of flogging myself over the back.
Mm.
But yeah, it was good, really good experience. Um, and as mentioned, the final type of weekend where we met up, spent some time together, um, finished off with some assessment stuff. It was really nice to meet the community of people that I'd been in conversation with and sharing some quite deep stuff with over the last 3 months. So I guess that's the summary of my experience. And the material, uh, very deep and comprehensive. Um, and yeah, there's still plenty of scope to go back, revisit, and go over just to cement those type of foundations there. Yeah, a really great experience. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. And yeah, I think I'm going to pinch that metaphor about the lenses in the opticians. That's like a really good way to explain things in terms of how like things fit together. So yeah, I'm going to pinch that one off you. Thanks for
Cool,
that.
no worries.
And yeah, it was. I think like the community aspect is was really important for myself, and just seeing like the openness and the sharings and the vulnerability within some of the sessions, because there was some tricky stuff that came up among the others and yourself, there was a couple of sharings with yourself where I was just like, yeah, man, like you were really like sharing some like difficult stuff, and and being really proactive in that, and it was helping to like I move through things at the
Hmm.
day, and yeah, so I guess yeah, I want to ask next, what aspects do you enjoy the most or find the most useful in the course?
So what did I enjoy the most and find the most useful? So I'm again, we have quite a similar background coming from the engineering type of analytical background. So coming along, watching you do the assessment was great, and I still have questions at some point for us to meet up and connect and go over. Um, for me, that stuff type of is I wouldn't say second nature, but I'm drawn towards it. So it was probably some of the things that I'd been shying away from, really, that I enjoyed the most. And I did find very challenging picking up the astrology, and there's still a lot of work that I would like to do there. But I also found it really deeply reflective, to have a deeper understanding of myself. Again, more understanding on the archetypal work, and again how these different lenses can just help us view our own personal traits, our own personality, and our own way forward to work through, I guess, life challenges, so that we can see that for example, I'm Capricorn, and I used to, the very tough thing about being a Capricorn is that you're very hard on yourself. You're wanting to work and think you should be working all the time, and one of my deepest reflections was that, oh, I'm not working enough. I'm lazy, and then I realized my whole life is I put a lot of work in there. I have a busy family life, and it was just understanding and taking that step back and reflecting on where I'm doing the work and acknowledging that. So it really helped me as a person feel more empathy towards myself, have a bit more care towards myself, and ultimately has led me to just change, I'd say, quite massively, the perception that I have on my current experiences, to bring them into a much more of a positive and energetic, transformative type of way. It's been really liberating on that type of front. I feel a lot freer, a lot more content, and it's just making things flow. Yeah, tremendously better. Um, as Bruce Lee would say, like water, not like water slamming into a rock and not finding its way round, but just flowing with it, rolling with it.
Mm. Oh man, I'm so happy to hear that. So happy to hear that. And yeah, it's interesting when we look at the concept of work, because we tend to get boxed into this like kind of like career kind of place. So I got a bunch of Capricorn placements as well. I think we chatted about it a little bit, and
Mm.
you can get boxed into this idea of like, oh, it's all about the career, but actually, everything else is also the work.
Mm.
Like I had like a really interesting realization when it was just like I was struggling to find time to work out and exercise at a certain point. And it's just like actually that's part of my work of being a coach. I need to do that exercise. That is work. And you like you say, you've got a family. Like damn, like I've heard that like having kids is one of the biggest personal development journeys one can ever go on. So it's kind of like when you, I guess, appreciate that everything is the work, it kind of can
Mm.
detach a little bit from the kind of the career-based stuff so much. So, what kinds of themes did you move through on the course, buddy?
Okay, so to summarize, um, it's just two themes really, and that was from really feeling like a victim to empowered with how my life is going, and there's no really deep need to complicate it any more than that. The fact that um, it was that constant thought of everything maybe going wrong or not in my way, and not seeing the learning opportunities, just viewing it as type of stress, um, and a small change in perception, uh, and understanding that there are people here. We're here to support each other, and with that support, you view that within your life, and you reach out for that support to help you grow, instead of trying to do it on your own. Um, and that's a real big realization for me. It's something that I type of knew in the background, but it was through, I guess, some type of childhood stuff, feeling that I needed to go it alone, and I should be able to do this and I should be able to do that, to understanding that actually this is why I'm working with people like yourself, working with people that I met within the course, having those conversations and reflective talk within our Saturday morning type of calls, to help us understand that we all have these challenges within our lives, and it's just a case of how do we view them. Is it through the victim mentality or through the personal growth mindset? It's like, okay, then this challenge has come up. How can I work through this? Who can I um, approach for support, in an empowering way, not like a, oh, I'm the victim, please help me, but like, who can I approach who is maybe good at something that I'm not so good at, so that I can maybe work with someone and learn to understand how I can develop myself to really empower myself to continue along the journey that I'm on. That's that's the summary of that, really.
Oh mate, it makes me so happy to. I got the goosebumps up and down my arms, man. Thank you. And you went transformation, like mate, like straight, like because I remember, if you don't mind me saying, like you're going through a bit of a tough time at the start of the course,
Yeah,
uh, and just I was saying just off camera, like you look and feel completely different now, and so
yeah,
testament to you and like hats off to you for doing this work on yourself to make change. It's been like really like it's been really beautiful to see, and yeah, just yeah, well done, man. Like, it's just like yeah, it's been a real pleasure being on this journey with you. So
thank you.
victim to victor. Mm.
Victim to victor, yeah, definitely. It's yeah, and I guess even before we started the conversations that we'd had, and just those little little words in my ear that you held for me, and the time that you spent was really appreciated, and has helped support me through some challenges that I'd really allowed to propagate instead of facing in a I wouldn't say productive, but actually facing up to them and being realistic about how I was going to work through this, and find the support and just some more stability, feeling like I've sunk my feet into the ground and okay, so this is my current path. That's cool. And yeah, feeling very grounded and type of confident with it.
Mm. Oh, great stuff, man. It's absolute pleasure, like a real pleasure to be of help when I can. And yeah, no, it's just yeah. I've had people. I've gone through stuff in the past, tough stuff. I've had people like help me out and like to pass it on, and it's all about just passing it on.
Mm.
And just
Yes, it is.
happy it was helpful. Yeah. So what I got the last two questions for you. So what first off, what was your biggest takeaway or biggest takeaways from the course?
Okay, so the biggest takeaways, yeah, I would say it's that depth of the just the confidence in myself and knowing that the universe has kind of got my back. Um, and I think the astrology really helped me view myself in a different way to see that. It was the whole package really. If I'm being honest with you, it was just all the different elements that led to introspection, to things like the business stuff, the assessment stuff, just going over some stuff that I'd studied a few years ago when we started on the Czech Academy, and then because I hadn't used it, I'd remained employed, had maybe forgotten some of it, and just to revisit. So for me, I'd say it was the whole package. Of feeling supported, just guided in the right direction, be conversation with yourself or the other participants of the course that really created that community. So it was about the community aspect of it. As all bringing our own different viewpoints, having those conversations on a Saturday morning, being able to help identify um, different areas of ways that we could work through maybe challenges that we had, and just let us know that it's all good and we're all heading in the right direction.
Oh, I'm really happy to hear that, mate. And yeah, the community aspect was like a really important part of things. And I mean, like the live sessions, yeah, a lot of it were like you guys was like coaching each other. It was kind of like I was kind of providing the kind of steering the bit of direction and providing
Mm.
prompts, but like you guys were really engaging with each other, which was for myself being a fly on the wall in the group sharings and just viewing what's going on. It was just so beautiful just to watch the interplay and interaction with all of you guys, and the openness and the sharing. It was just it was fantastic. So
It,
um,
it, it was great to experience. Yeah.
great. So my last question is: would you recommend this course to other coaches and therapists?
Yes, I would. Um, and I think there was a real wide variety of people that you brought together for this. So not only did I get the experience and like create more awareness within myself, but we actively all learned from each other, and I felt that was a really type of valuable tool. So yes, yeah, I would most definitely recommend that. If you want to learn some cool stuff, hang out with some cool people, yeah, drop in and yeah, experience it. And I would say the depth of content that you threw in there, Jess, was vast. So there's plenty of material there to keep even the most hungry person satisfied, and if you want to take your time over it as well, that's also cool. So it was very easy to take it at the pace that maybe people wanted to within their own environment, and having that Saturday morning group with not too much attachment to the modular work just held that space really well. Yeah, so yes, definitely hang out with Jess. It's just bringing nice people together, man. That's what it's about. You're like the catalyst to the glue, you know, when you have that sloppy mess and you drop the hardener in and all of a sudden it becomes firm. That's what it felt to me. It just helped firm everything up.
Oh, thank you so much, brother. Thank you for your kind words. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure to walk with you over the last few years, let alone like the last few months in this course. And
Yeah,
yeah, I think for myself, one of the um, best things, if not the best thing of this course, has been what I'm feeling as a deepening in friendship uh, with all of the guys and yourself. So that's been really like the most beautiful part for me. And hey man, let's keep walking.
oh definitely, yeah, I would say that's the thing. It's the friendships that I've started to make and strengthen, because ultimately when you choose to type of walk this path and you want to help people and support people, ultimately you really need to build that dream team around you. And it's talked about a lot. You know, certainly if you're studying the Czech stuff, you know, it's mentioned quite heavily, but I cannot stress how much you should really reach out to other coaches, you know, coaches who have more experience to you, coaches that are maybe less experienced than you, or coaches that are on a slightly different path so that you can view things from slightly different angles. It really helps create that broad, holistic viewpoint of a good support network to help guide you in the right direction, and ask questions when you need to. You know, if you have a client that pops up and you're like, oh, I'm not quite sure, then ultimately there are people with different viewpoints who may be able to shine the light on that, people with more experience that can also shine the light on that, people who work with different modalities that can also shine the light on that. And that makes for an absolutely amazing strength to have that community of people all with the same goal, walking in the same direction.
Oh, thank you, brother. May the community grow.
May the community grow.
Aaron, thank you so much for your time, brother. I really appreciate it. Your kind words and your presence on this course, and yeah, all of the hard work. It's just been an absolute pleasure, brother. So thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Cool. Right. Thank you.